Today we're going to talk about order operations. Remember, we have now upgraded us from talking about parentheses to talking about grouping symbols, and that's why we use a G. The rest of the order of operations has stayed exactly the same. Exponents, multiplication and division. Remember, these are one thing and we work left to right. And adding and subtracting is last on the list. Again, working left to right. Example 1. Evaluate the following expression. 8 minus 4 divided by 2 plus 3 times 5. So I'm looking for grouping symbols. I do not see any. So I go to the next, exponents. I do not see any. So now I'm to multiplication and division. I'm ready to do these because I do see some of those. I have division here, and I have multiplication here. Because I work left to right, I will do the division first. I bring everything else down. 8 minus 4 divided by 2 is 2, plus 3 times 5. Now I'm ready to do the 3 times 5. Everything else comes down to 8 minus 2 plus 3 times 5 is 15. Now I should be with just addition and subtraction. And again, I'm going to work left to right. So 8 minus 2 is 6 plus 15. 6 plus 15 is 21. And there's my answer. Next, evaluate the following expression. 4 plus 4.3 times the quantity 3 cubed minus 6, all of it squared. So here, again, I'm going to think grouping symbols. I do have grouping symbols. I have parentheses, so this will be the first thing that I'm going to do. Everything else just comes down. Notice the 2. The exponent 2 is outside the parentheses, so he comes down outside the parentheses. Now, inside the parentheses, if you look, I should just see this. When you look inside parentheses for grouping, you ignore everything outside. Notice everything else kind of fades to black. So in here, I have an exponent and I have subtraction. What do we do first? Exponent. So, put down 3 cubed means 3 times 3 times 3, which equals 27. So I have 27 minus 6 inside parentheses. I still need to finish this, so I bring down everything else, and I say 27 minus 6, and that gives me 21. I have now finished inside the parentheses. I no longer have grouping because there's nothing inside left to do. So now I need to look for exponents. Again, I see I have this exponent 2 up here. 2 is only on the 21. The 3 is the 4.3 is a totally different number sitting in front of 21. So the first thing I must do is square 21. Bring everything else down. And this will give me 21 squared is 441. Once I've squared that, I have no more exponents. So now I move back to multiplication division. Notice that I have multiplication. So the next step is to multiply 4.3 times 441. That should give you, oops, sorry about that. That should give you 1,896.3, bringing the plus 4 down. Now we add 4 to that, and we get 1,903/10. Notice this green box over here. On yours is probably gray. This is where you need to stop, bring your paper up, and have me initial it. So you want your teacher's initials. Everywhere you see one of these boxes, it means it's time to stop, bring your paper up, and get your teacher to initial your paper. Next, evaluate the following expression. Notice I now have brackets as well as parentheses. So I need to look at the brackets, and when I go inside there, I see I have grouping symbols of parentheses. When you have a group inside of a group, you go all the way inside to the innermost set, which would be the 8 minus 6. Everything else comes down exactly as it appears. And now I'm going to replace the 8 minus 6 with 2. I still have grouping symbols, so I need to go inside these grouping symbols and do the most powerful order of operation. I have multiplication, I have an exponent, and I have addition. I'm going to do my exponent next. So I'm going to do 2 to the 3rd power. Notice it's only this 2 raised to the 3rd power. Everything else comes straight down. So 2 to the 3rd power is 8. My expression is getting simpler. So now I'm still inside these brackets, and I see I have the choice between multiplication and addition. I'm going to multiply. That gives me negative 8 plus 6, still inside the free brackets. Everything there will be squared. Finally, I'm going to say negative 16 plus 6 and get negative 10. Negative 10 is being squared, and so negative 10 times negative 10 would be positive 100. Next, evaluate the following expression. Notice I got the fraction bar here to represent grouping symbols. I must do the entire numerator and then the entire denominator before dividing. So in the numerator, I have addition and I have division. Well, division, of course, comes first. So 10 plus 30 divided by 5 is 6. All over the same denominator that was there before. I'm going to now finish the numerator. 10 plus 6 is 16. Still over that expression in the denominator. Now, I will go to the denominator. Division comes first, so I will divide. 16 divided by 28 divided by 7 is 4, multiplied by 2. Now, I say 4 times 2 and get 8. And finally, I'll be able to divide and get my answer of 2. Next, don't forget that green box that was back there. You need to make sure you get my initials. Finally, example 5. Yes, there's a fraction in it. That's okay. You'll be fine. I have 4/3 times 9 to the 2nd minus 2 to the 9th. Do not see grouping symbols, so I'm going to do exponents first. 4/3 times 9 squared minus 2 to the 9th. 9 squared, we know, is 81. Minus 2 to the 9th, which is 512. Now let me show you over to the side an easy way to do a fraction times a whole number. I go from bottom across 3 into 81 equals 27. Now, 27 times 4 is 108. 108 minus 512. So now I subtract, and I get an answer of negative 404. You have reached your turn. I want you to try these. After number 4, make sure you get my signature. And then when you get to the bottom, you'll get it signed again.